Here we are again. Plan today is to continue with the playhouse. Um, since last time I streamed, I thought a lot about a little bit more about the style of the shed, and that I wanted it to be in like those traditional Swedish cottages. And I mean, they're culture, so therefore I've seen them all my life. Not all the time because I don't necessarily have lived around those all the time, but you know, part of the Swedish culture, therefore I know how they look and stuff like that. However, that doesn't necessarily mean I know their history or how they came about looking like they did or how they were built and stuff like that. So I figured maybe I should look into it some more, find out some more of the history and stuff like that. Always fun to learn something new. And I did as anybody, the year 2025, that wants to find information that is not just sponsored links. I went to the library, got myself a hefty little book here, Tradition in Wood. Yeah. Tradition i trä. Tradition in Wood. A journey through Sweden. I haven't read through it yet, but I looked through it, and it has a lot of inspiration in it. I can tell you that. Goes all the way from these sorts of very old timey. Let's see here if I can. Yeah, farmhouses that were built like, I don't know where that's built, but half timbered row of barns. It's even translated into English on the pictures. That's nice. Um, like everything from that, which is more common in Sweden, in south of Sweden, like Scania, where I'm from. Um, from that to from the most northern parts, where it's like timber cottages and things like this, which is Sami, a Sami cottage. So I mean, it has all kinds of fun thing in it. Looking forward to reading through it, learning a bit more about history. I did, however, find out something that was quite interesting, or that I find quite interesting. That the classical red cottage. Let's see here if it's actually translated into cottage. Oh, regular farmstead or house, wooden house. The one that's classically Swedish, with the red paint and the white edges, or uh, yeah, details. Um, that it's due to some bishop that made took out a loan he shouldn't have. That apparently is the reason for the mine where they get the pigment from. That was like, I think I read it was in 1200s or something, that he took out a loan he shouldn't have, and then he had to do some things to get other things done and solve that loan. Didn't read all too deeply into that. I just skimmed through it, but that the only reason why we have it, that red paint, is not primarily or only because of him, but sort of began with him. And that they managed to get the king interested in red paint, and that's why it got popular to have your house painted in red. As with many things, get the king to do it, and then the rest of the country will follow suit, I guess. But also that the oldest still standing wooden building in Sweden is apparently from the 11th century. So that was kind of fun. By the way, got some inspiration from that. I'm going to read through that book and see if I can't perhaps get some good ideas, or maybe redo whatever I'm doing here. Either way, let's jump into Blender and continue. Don't know how much I managed to get done today, but let's do something. Let's see here. Where were we? Okay, so these ones have their origins at the edges. That one there. Okay. Maybe we should do some paneling. Yeah, let's do that. So cursor to selected. Yeah, let's do this one here and just select that edge over there. Cursor to selected, and let's get ourselves a new. Wait a minute. Cursor to selected. There we go. Let's get ourselves a new piece of cube. Let's scale it down a little bit. And let's make a frame around these here. I think I'm actually going to do paneling all through the sides and replace this inner structure. The first thing I did, I'm probably going to replace that to make it look a bit more realistic. But let's begin here. Scale it. Make it thin like blank. That will be good enough for me. Scale it like that. No, I want it thicker. Like that. I'm going to do paneling all around here. So let's see here. That one now needs to be in another collection. Let's call that panels for now. Might need to do subsections of that later. Let's see here. Front frame. Click one. Here we go. And scale it in the y-axis. Something like that. So one thing that since I began doing woodworking that I realized is you start looking at what other people do as woodworking, and you always think that all the edges and everything, all their joints and everything is perfect whenever you see something outside. Until you look closer to it, a lot of the like not communal as in made by the everybody in the village, but like wooden structures and stuff like that you see in public places, like for example a windshield or something like that on a scout farm or something like that. Usually it's pretty, don't want to say shoddy, but I mean they just cut the piece and then they nail them together or place them into each other like in a joint, and sometimes the handwork is quite rough. Something I learned. I hadn't really reflected over it because mostly you look at things from afar, and you just, your eyes fill in the rest. You see the structure and you think like, that looks nice. And then when you look closer at it, you think, they could have been more exact here. But the thing is, half of the time it probably doesn't even matter because, again, the handyman sees all the handyman or the creator sees all the mistakes, and everybody else just sees the whole thing. It's the same thing with welds. There's a whole subreddit dedicated to bad welds in the wild, and I mean, I went to school for welding, and after that, I started realizing all the shoddy welds that you see, especially in like public places. Like if you see like a fence or something like that, a lot of times it just quickly welded together because that's all it needs to be. And again, wise man once said that perfection is the enemy of good. So I mean, sometimes it's better just get shit done. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just add a mirror here. Ooh, under the constraints tab, I wanted to go in the modifiers, and it generates a mirror. There we go. I'll do it in the z-axis only on that object. Well, that's nice. It's close. Let's see here if I can't. Nope. Not what I wanted. Nope. Why does it move all the way down there? That's probably because that one is halfway down. I won't be able to need to think. Oh, fuck it. Let's just duplicate it and move it down. Doesn't matter. Place it down here. Ooh. Place it at the. Oh, yeah, I probably want to see what the door is. Yeah, we can move that all the way down. Let's move it down to there. Here we go. Like that. And let's move these out a little bit. Something like that. Nice. And like this. Take this one here, duplicate it again, rotate it along the x-axis, so 90 degrees. And right, rotate along the x-axis and 90 degrees. There we go. I probably forgot to press the x-axis, so therefore it rotated itself in all kinds of directions. Oh, I forgot to duplicate it. Okay. Shift D, rotate in x-axis 90 degrees. There we go. And go. Shift X. So when you grab it with G and press Shift and then X, Y, or Z, you just exclude that axis from the movement. It's kind of useful. Kind of, it's extremely useful. We'll scale it up in the Z axis until we reach that edge over there. Here we go. And maybe make it slightly smaller. Like that. Move it up a little bit. You could try and do this very exactly, but I mean, once I actually build it, or a lot of these buildings aren't made with micrometer precision either way, so let's just keep with the tradition. I'm gonna want to give these a bevel. Oh yeah, let's not forget do all transforms. No, just do scale, and let's do rotation and not location. Apply scale and apply rotation. Not that I changed that one. This one we should be able to do a quick mirror on, actually. Here. Mirror in y-axis and on that object. Here we go. Let's see. Maybe hello? Bevel. And let's see here. We'll do that one first. Add a 0 in front. Add more than a 0 in front, apparently. 2. Here we go. Maybe 15. Yeah, something like that. And let's see here. You can do the same with this. Just quicker. Add a bevel. And let's make that 2. Do the same thing here. Add a bevel. And here we go. And 2. Here we go. We now have a little bit of a bevel, which makes them look a little bit more like a plank. That one needs to move out a little bit. That's Y direction. Here we go. See here. That looks nice. Then we can take these 2 doors, both of them, and then move them outwards. Move them outwards. So they're outside of that. Something like that. Looks nice. And I want to take these, all of them. So let's call this front frame bottom. Oh, I actually had caps lock activated. Bottom. And if you're wondering why every word is capitalized, it's because I find it a lot easier to read the names of them. Top. There we go. And we can take all of these. Add another collection, call it front frame. Them inside of that one and put that one inside of that one. There we go. I want to take all of these, Shift D to duplicate, R in Z axis and 90 degrees. And then need to go into this one and change that into the X direction instead. And I won't be able to do that, no, because it has a different size. So let's remove the mirror on that one. Take the ones we have here and add a new collection, move them into that one and call this side frame. And change the name of these as well. Side frame. Side frame. And the last one, side frame. I can remove the 0 on there. Not needed anymore. I mean, that's automatic when you do a copy of something. Let's take all these and do this trick again. Shift S, cursor selected. And then these ones here. Shift S, selection to cursor. Should have done that. So let's not do that trick. Let's do it manually. Oh yeah, because they have different ordinance. My bad. G, Y. And let's move it up here. I mean, it's simple enough to do it manually. G, Y. That looks nice. And G, X, and then we need to do some scaling here as well. Yeah, well, let's just make this one wider. S. X now. GX. Move it out to not all. exactly on that point. Oh, but the thing is, I don't even need to do that. Yeah, because I'm going to remove the inners of that door either way. So GX, move it so that it's on the edge right there. There we go. And let's hide that side door for now. And let's open these two up. Press that edge. We can press that edge over there. And then we can just press G. If we press double G, we can just move it inwards. There we go. And just move it there for now. Shift D to duplicate, and in the x-axis just move it over. Might as well move it over like that because I have the side of the door, the size of the door already set. So let's take that one out. Change the rotation of that to 0. Sorry, not that one. That one to 0. There we go. Let's move this one in slightly. So that looks good. This one out. Direction. Let's put it just outside. Just have a look here. Yeah, move it slightly to there. Look good. Looking good. Like these still have that one selected, right? Yep. And let's move them inwards. Zoom in and check how close I got my eye. Pretty close. Move it outwards. There we go. That's perfect. Great, and then this one is going to get a white edge. This one is going to get a white edge. This one is probably going to have some sort of half. Yeah, we're going to have to look at some reference pictures for that. Figure that one out. Let's do that later. There's more to be done with the doers. Let's make some hinges. So let's begin by select that one here. And I did actually have, let's see here. New window. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, but there we go. I did have a few, let's see here. Can I do that here? Maybe I could. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do like this. And another one of those. And just add a new window here. And change that to that one. So these ones. Figuring these ones are the ones, the kind of hinges that I want to use. Because they're kind of rustic and I think they look cool. So yeah. Let's see here. Move remove that again. So that's my reference image for the hinges. Let's see here. Let's begin by doing the first part of it. Let's close up a few of these. That one needs to go into that one there. Let's close up that one as well. Create a new scene. Let's call it hinges. Not hinges. Hinges. There we go. And again, a cube. Scale it all the way down. And scale it in that wrong direction. In X direction. Kind of thin. Not too thin though. And let's move in towards the edge there. Something like that. And move it slightly outwards so that it's attached to the frame. And scale it in the Z direction a little bit. Something like that perhaps. Let's have a look at that picture again. I mean, they're not big, but they need to go in about halfway in, like 50 centimeters or something like that. Let's have a look here. This would probably be good enough. Otherwise, if it doesn't look good, we'll just redo it. So let's add a couple of loop cuts here. Move them down slightly, something like that. And GX, move them. New. Another loop cut. Scale it in Z axis, something like that. And then GX. And let's take these two here at the inside here and scale them down a little bit. Move them X direction slightly. Something like that. And I want to take that edge over here. And the edge that's on the inside here. That one there. Those two there. And I want to add a bevel, I think. Or not. Didn't that work? Okay. Apply scale first. Control B. There we go. Because then I can take that edge and that edge and that edge and where did it go? There we go. And move, scale them inwards slightly. Probably make it look a lot better. There we go. Let's scale these in the Z-axis. Move them in that direction slightly. Here we go. Look pretty good. Oh, yeah, because I need to move these further out. I didn't move them out far enough. Oh, not that edge. That edge in there. Let's see here. They need to clear the edge there. So GX. slightly inward. I want to try and keep the thickness here somewhat. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but you're only going to see them from a distance, but sometimes our eyes are extremely good at finding lines that aren't aligned. And I mean, if you have two lines that aren't perfectly in alignment, our eyes are incredibly good at noticing that. Don't know the name for it, but let me find here. Where do I have them? Oh. I only have digital calipers here for some reason, but a regular caliper, it has two scales, where the top one and the middle one, the top one and the lower one, like if you've ever used a caliper, when they get aligned, that's how you know how many sub-millimeters you have in width here between these teeth over here. And the reason why that smaller scale, you see you have a large scale here, and then you have a small, let's see. Let's move over to this one. Better. So you have two scales. Oh, let's see, can it focus? Well, you have a large scale here and then a small scale over here. And when those two align with each other, because on a not digital one, yeah, you have a scale on this side here. When they align with each other, you can pick out like it's 1 centimeter and 2 millimeters and 2/10ths of a millimeter, for example. The reason why we can use calipers like that is because our eyes are incredibly good at identifying when lines are not aligned with each other or not meeting each other like that. That's a fun fact. Let's move that over there. Let's continue here. That's a bit of a side tangent. Oh. Anyways, let's continue. I want to take that one and scale it in Z-axis a little bit, I think. Here we go. Looked a lot better. Oh. Yeah, I want... God damn it. I want to take this one, that one, and that one, and scale them in Z-axis. There we go. That seems like an even thickness. Let's apply scale on that one. And then I think I'll do this. That one. That. Just move slightly in this direction. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. That one. That one. There we go, and then we're gonna have to move that edge around as well. We can do that. Here we go. Looking good. And just have a quick look over at the hinge. Oh, and I forgot to change the camera. I see that now. My bad. Here we go. I mean, I did not do much. I moved around the thickness of this and moved around that edge that's in here. Let's see, that edge on the top and the bottom. So that's all I did. Anyways, let's continue. Let's make this a little bit thinner because it doesn't need to be all that thick. So a little bit thinner, something like that looks pretty good. Apply scale again. And then let's add the cylinder part. Is going to be the one that the hinge rests on and rotates. So Shift A, add a cylinder. And that cylinder can't be seen because it's huge. Let's scale it down. Make it really tiny. So let's see here. So I think that this thickness will be probably pretty good for the bottom part of it. Probably a little bit smaller. Like that. And then I'm going to move it slightly inwards. Because I wanted to clear that edge there. And I'm going to do like this. Oop. Tap into edit mode. I'm going to move this one all the way down here. So that it doesn't clear that edge. That doesn't show up here. Then I am going to take, yeah, another loop cut, place it real close to that one, and then we take and select that one as well, and then just scale it down a little bit. Something like that. I'm gonna need to add a loop cut over there. Well, move that slightly downwards. And take that one there. Move it slightly upward, just so it disappears. Nobody's ever gonna see that part of it, but that doesn't look good. I had something selected. Yes, indeed I did. Control R. I have something additional selected there. Ah, there we go. Look at that. God. Let's just not select anything. Select that one and that one. There we go. And let's scale this one inwards. Yeah. And let's select this one over here. Move it upwards. Control R again. Move it slightly downwards. This edge over here. Give it a small bevel. Again, this won't be seen, but it's always nice to do those little details. Slightly upwards and extrude with E, and then scale it slightly outwards, move it slightly downwards, and add another loop cut and bevel that one. No, just move it. Scale slightly. As if it's a weld or something. I don't know. And then here we want to do select a face, and we want to do an insert. And I'm not entirely sure about the size it needs to be here, but I'm gonna go with this. Let's do it kind of long. Maybe not that long. No, I'm gonna have to do that smaller. Maybe like that. Extrude it upwards like this, and let's add a bevel to that edge. There we go. Nice. We're getting there. I'm not going to add a bevel to this one here. I think I'm going to bevel that with a modifier. Might as well do that. Oh, no, because I'm going to do some booleans on it, so we'll wait with that until later. So now let's fix ourselves some screw holes. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A, and let's add another cylinder. Scale it down all the way down. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the screw hole. So let's rotate that in. Again, that's going to be the y-axis. Scale it in the x-axis. Gonna have it kind of thin. This is going to be a fun part. Let's move it outwards, the g-axis for now. And go to edit mode. G in the x-axis like this. I'm going to scale that down like this. Do it even further in the x-axis. And then extrude to here. Scale it down like that. And then this. And then here, I want to add a bevel. It's enough that it's just one like that. And I think we want to add a bevel here as well. Or not. Let's see here. If I add a bevel there. No. But we can do like this maybe. Yeah, and then add a bevel. Let's take this one here, scale it down slightly. This one as well. Scale down. Scale down. And this one here. Down. And then double G to move it along the axis. Not axis, along the edges? Probably the correct way of saying it. Scale it in a little bit. And this one. Something like that, I think. This one needs to be a little bit bigger, I think. Want it to look like a tapped hole. Thing is, I'm gonna add a screw to that hole, so this might be a bit over ambitious, but I mean, it's the details. makes the journey of making fun along the way. Go up there. Here we go. Done, I think. And we're gonna have to make this whole screw a lot smaller, but let's move it back into the model it's gonna pierce through. So I just want to make sure that the bottom piece of it, the end piece of it actually goes through the model. And then we can scale it down in all axes. Move it inward slightly. The reason why I did this edge over here, this little flange or whatever you call it, I don't know, is that usually with the screw head, and I'm gonna have to fix this a little bit, I'm gonna have to move it even further inward. The edge of a tapped hole usually has a little bit more of a bevel to it. So yeah. Let's see here. Here we go. Around here. Keep saying here we go, but I guess we do. That screw hole seems a little bit big, so I'm gonna scale in all axes. Scale in all axes except the x-axis because I don't want it to get shorter. So I'm just gonna press Shift X and I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. That also means that that angle becomes a little bit more acute, but that don't matter. It's gonna look good. And G. Y. Move it over here. And then I'm gonna add a mirror. Mirror modifier. There we go. And I want to do it along the y-axis. And then you see we get a hole, or we get a screw over there as well. And we can actually just tap in Z as well, and then we get it over there. And that actually looks like a good placement for the secondary part of the screw. The second set of screw holes. Because they would be accessible behind this, and they're far up enough on this lip here that it would actually help it from going outward from the wall. So there we go. Again, here we go. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't usually say that when I speak normally. Probably because the camera's rolling. So let's so I want to do a bowling now. So I want to remove these screws or screw holes from the other object, and by doing that I need a bowling, and you add the bowling to the object you want the hole in, and then you choose the object you want to have intersect your object as the bowling. So let's see here. We have this cube here. I'm gonna call that hinge mount, and then we have these ones here. They are the screw holes. Sometimes I call them bowlings, or just so I can keep track of what is what. I'm actually gonna do that. Bowling. There we go. And then we have this one here. This one is probably just gonna call it the cylinder, but I wanna add it to this one. So this one, Shift Control P, parent to object. No, I did it wrong again. Control P. Here we go. I keep forgetting which object to select first and second whenever I want to parent them, but it doesn't matter because once you realize you've done the wrong one, because you see the which object is parent by the name here, you can just Control Z and then do it again. So now I can move this one around and the cylinder part here follows along. The screw holes, however, does not. So if I want to keep them as bowlines on the object forever, I need to parent them to the object as well. And honestly, I think I'm gonna do that. So let's do like this. Ooh. Let's take this one and that one and Control P. No, I think Control P object, and I did it the wrong way again. Two possibilities, and I did it the same way twice. Here we go. So now they're all inside there, and let's do like that. Let's just make them invisible by pressing a little eye over here, and there you can see we have the screw holes looking mighty good. Also on these here, I want to add a shade auto smooth. There we go. Makes the screw holes a bit softer. Actually, I want to do that on this one as well. Auto smooth. Shift A, UV, unwrap, smart UV product. Nope, still looks like shit over here. But that's because of the auto smooth. Probably need to add, let's see here, a subdivision surface. And should we make it? Let's calendar arc. Do this, Control R, and let's move that all the way down there. And Control R. One of these inside there, and Control R. So when you do a subdivision surface, what it'll do is it'll add an extra set of subdivisions everywhere, and that can make certain things soft edges a lot softer, so you have to go in and do loop cuts and tighten those corners up. But it also makes other things look a lot better. So for here for example, I'm gonna want to do another inset here and move inwards, and it'll do that edge a lot more justice. Let's see here. Let's move that one up there as well. There we go. And Shift A, and I'll just unwrap that again. I'm gonna do simple texturing, so for most objects here, I will probably just do a smart UV unwrap. Yeah. Let's see here. I mean, we're getting there. Let's see if we can add a bevel on this one here. And see here. Trying to see here. Making it extremely tiny for some reason. That's why. I needed to have it before that one. So let's see here. 2 and make it smaller. Here 2. Did that actually change anything? There's a constraint somewhere that makes that impossible. Okay, well in that case, let's not use that one and go in here instead, and because I don't want the bowling on every edge either way, so let's take these ones here. Bowlings, keep the bevel. Let's do like this. Control A, scale. Control A, rotation. Control B. Oop. I think I have, let's see here. Control A might have some weird geometry. Let loose. Oh. Clean up. Merge by distance. No, wasn't that either. Okay. Oh, okay. So that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Oh, that one, that one, that one. So there's obviously something here constraining the bevel, but let's just do it manually. See if we can get a nice edge going. It's most likely this thing here. Hmm. Control B. Well, that works. That one wants to go there. Okay. Interesting. That works. Do that. And not that edge. And not that edge. Control B. Something like that. Take that one, that one, that one. And I'm probably gonna have to go with these ones as well. Let's see here. Again, when you get weird bevels, or whenever you're trying to do something like this and it doesn't really work, usually it's because you fucked up some other part of the geometry, or that you have faces that are in the wrong direction, or two edges or two vertices or two faces at the same place and stuff like that. But this is such a simple piece of geometry, so there shouldn't be. So here is probably just some constraints in the model. There we go. That looks kind of good. Yep. And then let's see here. If I do an auto smooth on this one, how it's gonna look. This here doesn't look good, but that's because of the bowlings. Because they're not actually made. I haven't applied them, so I'll just press save and let's apply that. And then you can see the face looks like this. So UV, unwrap, smart UV project, boom. The auto smooth still looks a bit weird. So what was that? How do you do that? That's interesting. Would you look at that? Uh-huh. Let's go back a little bit. Let's remove that one. See how far back we can go here with. Do, 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 do. I have probably gone back as far as I can. Can I do like this now? Do I have multiple lines here? Let's just see here. Lead edge. No, I did not. Do I have multiples here? No, I do not. If I do like this, Control B. That looks a lot better, don't it? Go back in, do this one again. Two of these. And the two of these. Control B. And let's see if we can add the auto smooth now. Let's see here. Object. Auto smooth. I mean, that looks better, but I obviously have some Shift A. Wrap. That doesn't fix that edge over there. Interesting. But either way, I'm gonna add textures to it, so I don't think this here will be noticeable. Let's see here if I apply that one. Shift A. No, Alt A, UV, unwrap, Alt UV project. I mean, the edges are going to show up either way because I have that one activated. This is just me thinking. Thing is, I don't think it'll actually matter if once I apply the textures, because I think that this shows up here because of the matte cap. Not the matte cap, but the let's see here. And I mean, what if I do like this? Yeah, it fucks that up, but let's go backwards. Let's undo that one. Add a subdivision surface. Move that upwards. simple. Yeah, it's gonna look good. Object, shade, flat. Keep it there. It's gonna look good in the end. There we go. Let's keep the bowl in there. Keep the cylinder there. There we go. Let's do the other part now, because now we want to do the part that actually connects to the door. So let's connect. Cursor to selected. And shift. Yep. Shift A and add another cylinder. Scale it way down again. Upwards. Please, like in the middle. I'm gonna need to make it bigger, so let's look here how much room we have to work with. Not a lot. Not a lot at all. So this one probably has to move further outwards. So move it there, here. Slightly downwards. There we go. Means I have more room for this one. Doesn't really have to be that thick. Let's scale it inwards a little bit. Here we go. Scale it in that axis a little bit. You can do a little bit more. Move it down to right above there. Or not yet, but move it up and scale it into that axis. There we go. Keep using that word. And select those two faces, do an insert. Right about there would be good. And then delete that face. Delete that face only. There we go. And then if we select this loop cut over here and select this loop cut over here, we can do a nifty little thing called bridge edge loops. Let's see here. Bridge edge loops. There we go. And then we have the inside done there. And next thing I want to do is I want to attach the hinge piece, the one that goes out over the door. So let's select that one. We just have a quick look at the reference image over here. Huh, apparently I removed it. Let's see here. Let's see. Yep. All right. Shift S. Shift S, cursor selected, and it gets in between those. Great. Shift A, cube. Okay, I'm in edit mode apparently, so let's not do that. Shift A, and cube. Get it down. And do this. Actually seems to be almost right on point. Maybe I can do this. So last time I tried moving a single vertex to a other single vertex. So I'm gonna try and do that again. Didn't get it to work the way I wanted it to yesterday, but I should be able to. So let's see here. Question is just which one I can use. So SZ0. Okay, so if I select this one and then that one, SZ0, it moved the other one. So yeah, it worked. Yeah, that's a nifty way of doing it. And what I did was I chose active elements. I opened both objects at the same time into edit mode. I took that face and that face, and then I said scale this face in the z-axis, but to 0, and 0 being the place of the active element. So that's a nice way of getting those to be perfectly aligned with each other. I'm going to do the same thing over here. SZ0, and then I move that face up there. So now they are at the exact same height, which is nice because I'm going to join these two together. So there we go. And ZX, scale in the x-axis, scale it down. This is going to be a little bit more by feel. Because we're so close. And then move this one in that direction until we reach that middle part there. Ooh. That should be very close. And indeed, it is. Let's see here if I can. A bunch of other things. And let's see here. Let's scale this in the x-axis slightly inwards. Pretty darn close. We can open that one up again so we can see it. And these two are going to be in their own little collection. Hinge. Lip. Yeah, let's call it that. I have no idea what that part's called on a actual hinge. Here we go. Here we go. And after looking at a few of those hinges, there are some of them are mounted in one direction and others in the other direction. So I'm probably gonna have to move, rotate this one the other direction. Have a think here. And while I have a think, I might as well look. Let's see here. Yeah. So see if I can find. Yeah, yeah, they can be mounted in that direction as well. So what I want to do here, because I've seen that there are hinges that have a nice little lip that goes outwards. So let's get ourselves one of those. Do like, oh, before I do that, let's just attach these two together. So this one and this one, and Control J, join them. They are now one object, but that means that the geometry here is, yeah, it's horrible. So we're gonna need to do something like this. Do an edge loop, place it over here somewhere. Maybe. That'll work. Put it there. And again, we're gonna have to remove a lot of edges here and faces, mostly faces. So only that face, and then I'm gonna have to subdivide this one here, but let's delete that face. Let's delete that face. Let's delete that face. That face. It's gonna be a little bit of manual labor, but it's an easy way of going about it. Faces, only faces, only faces, only faces, only faces. Same with that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, because I don't want any inside faces here. And that one. The outer one here will be perfectly fine the way it is. And yeah, there are a few edges here that I need to remove, I think. Let's begin by connecting things here on the outside, I think. No, I'm gonna have to remove some edges as well. Yep. These ones here. This one here, let me just have a look at you. Oh, those I want to keep. That edge over there goes inwards. I'm gonna have to I'm going to want to remove that one as well. Yep. Delete edges. And that one as well. And then this face as well. Only faces. There we go. And then we can take this one and this one. Nope. This one, and this one over here. subdivide. No, I can't do that. Subdivide, subdivide, subdivide. See here, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's way too many. One, two, three. One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this, so divide. One, two, three, 4. And I need a fifth one over here. But I can use that one for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's just move them along the edge. There we go. And we're going to do that nifty little trick later on with scaling things to specific places. I'm actually going to do that now. Because that one is, yeah. S, Y, 0. Again, did it the wrong way about. So that one and that one. S, Y, 0. S, Y, 0. S, Y, 0. And the same with this one here. S, Y, 0. Here we go. That means I can connect these two to each other. I connect these two to each other. And these two to each other. And I have nice looking faces. The thing is, I didn't actually have to do that, I think. But it does look good. But that also means that that edge is not needed. Edges. And that edge isn't needed. And I can take this one and I can merge at first, nope, merge at last. To put those two together, I can do the same thing here. Merge at last. There we go. And that actually means that the only edge left that I need to worry about is this edge over here. And let's subdivide it twice. Yeah, we have there 1, 2, 3. And I need one more. So subdivide that one over there. And S, Y, 0. Y, 0. S, Y, 0. And the same for you. S, Y, 0. And let's make lines between you guys. All connected up. And let's do the same thing here. It's a bit manual, but that's some nice looking geometry right there. And I'm gonna need to connect these two, or all of these with each other as well. Great. And connect these two. And connect these ones over here. Now let's just continue. New, that would be a weird looking face if I did that. One's up here as well. There's obviously a way of doing this quicker than I am, but don't care to mess with that because sometimes automated things mess up things. Sometimes manual things mess up things as well. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that this is the best way of going about it. Again, not a professional 3D artist, not a professional 3D artist advisor. Yeah. But it looks good so far. New. And you. And all of you. Nope. Wrong button. I know why. Here we go. And then these edges over here. Edges over here. You. And the last one. And then select all. Do a cleanup, just make sure that I don't have anything loose. No. And clean up. Fill holes. Why did I press that one? Because I know I've filled all the holes already. Let's see here. Merge by distance. Yep, I had 4 vertices that were laying on top of each other. So that's good. They're now removed. Those can cause problems when trying to do other actions later. Let's see here. And one more thing I want to do. Normals, recalculate outside. Here we go. Now, let's make this hinge go outwards like that. Just like in the pictures. So let's add one of these. Good enough. And select all my and let's extrude that over here like that. And select only this one here. Move it. Move it inwards. Like that. Give it a bit of rotation. Give this one a bit of rotation as well. good. I think. I do believe. Yes. And one and did I not? No. I accidentally selected the wrong one. Give it a bit of a bevel. And that one as well. Nice. We're getting there. Looks kind of tiny though, don't it? It does, doesn't it? Or does it? It does. Let's choose this one. Make that one invisible. And let's select top ones here. Move them up to here. Let's also add 2 loop cuts here. Just for the UVs. And let's unwrap that again. There we go. And back here. Good. Scale this in Z-axis. Move it upwards, upwards, up. A bit. Can I take both of those? Okay, everything up a little bit. Did I not? I did not. Yeah, that looks better. All right, let's continue with this one. We wanted to go in over the door a bit. About halfway up the door, I think, is appropriate. Go a bit by eye. Let's do a couple loop cuts. One loop cut over here, I think. One over here. And another one over here. Because I want to do like this. Again, wrong button pressed. Scale it in Z. Didn't get all of them. Were you not recognized as a... Wrong one. What is happening here? Oh, it's not loop cutting. Why aren't you loop cutting? Look at this. See, that works. Extrude it to. That's way too far. To there. Or now it loop cuts. Okay, well that's great, I guess. G over here. Another loop cut over here. And another loop cut over here. And one does the same thing for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, let's just do like this. Then and now it works, so that's good. That and scale this one. Oh, I need another one. Control R. Around there. This is like a classical kind of design for these. So place it over there. Except for the fact that I scaled them all in all directions except for just Z. Move that down. That. R. Place you over here. Move you to there. And scale you only in that axis. But yeah, having this sort of, what's it called, shape at the edge seems to be very classical. So I'm gonna go with that. The ones I've seen have that, and again, I'm going with a classical design, but also it's something that I know I can get a hold of. My eye is freaking me, making me think that this one is wider than that one, but it's not. It just looks like that. Let's do a bevel. Or not. Let's get it down first. Shift A, no, Control A, apply, scale, and Control B. Do I have? Did I apply something there? No, it's just, yeah. Because I have the setting to highlight edges, it also highlights edges that are downwards. So, both valleys and ridges, so to say. Let's see here. Let's scale this in x-axis a little bit. And GG to move it further inwards and scale it only in z-axis. And Control B. Doesn't look good at all. It doesn't. And then that one and that one. Oh, that one. Control B. And these two here. Control B. And this one, but I'll make this a very slight bevel. That. And then I want to bevel these two as well. Control B. Like that. That actually looks like something, don't it? That's nice. Alright. Shift A, no, just a UV, unwrap, March UV project, unwrap. There we go. Can I add a bevel to this, or won't that? Will I need to do some troubleshooting for this? No, that worked. Cool. Let's make it a little bit wider. It won't let me, right? As always. Yep. Here we go. There's something here that makes it impossible. Yes, because edge. Put it on offset and just keep it there. I can do that manually if I want to later on, but it's probably going to be good enough either way. Yeah, because it's metal, and it's going to just have a slight bevel on the edge either way, because all you need is for it not to cut you. Alright, let's add some screw holes to this as well. We might as well copy this screw here, Shift D, and just move it over to the y-axis and in the hinge lip. And let's call that screw holes bowline 2. Let's call this one hinge lip as well. Let's remove the mirror for now. And let's move it into an appropriate place. So let's choose. That seems like a good location for a screw, right? So cursor is selected. And that one. Do I? What now? Yeah. Alt P, that one. Alt P, clear parent, because this one isn't supposed to be connected to that one. It's supposed to be connected to that one, and might as well do like this. P, and I did it again. Apparently, I am unable to do that on the first try. Here we go. this one here and selection to cursor. Now it's over there. Good. And then let's add a modifier to you again, the mirror modifier. Might as well mirror and do it in y-axis on that object. No, don't need a mirror for that. I'm going to use an array. And I'm going to do it in the y-axis. And let's do 3 of them. Because I think that's what I had on the reference image I had, that there were 3 screw holes. Yeah, seems good enough. And add a bowling as well. And not on that, on this one. Add generate bowling and choose screw hole and make that invisible. There we go. Now we have 3 screw holes on that one. But let's make those screws a little bit bigger, right? Let's just scale those bad boys. I'll double check one thing first before I do that. I want to make sure that they actually pass through. G, X, they do. Let's scale you up. Yeah, that looks. Moving back a little bit. There we go. That looks good, I think. And then I selected everything. Did not mean to do that. That looked good. Do a smart UV product on that as well. Good. Good. So let's move this, all of these things, both of them, upwards to about, what would be a good height? Probably there. And I want to do, let's begin by doing a mirror on this one. Mirror, and I want to do it in the z-axis on don't want to do it on that object, I want to do it on this object if possible, and that worked. So let's do the same thing on this one. Self mirror. z-axis and that object. Oh yeah, but it mirrors is upside down. Can I flip it? Why doesn't the flip option work? Oh well, then let's not do that. Let's do an array instead. No, I can't do an array. Think. I think for a moment. And check something out. Let's see here. Okay. Won't be able to do it that way. We could check. So let's skip the mirror. That one. Let's skip that mirror. Couldn't do it that way. So what we can do is we can add arrays to all of these instead. See here, begin by doing an array on you. And I want to do it in z-axis minus. That seems like a good height, right? Yeah. So let's copy that value. Move over to the cylinder. Add another array on that one. Add that one there and put a 0 there. What? Time to use brain. So this one, Shift S, cursor to selected. This one needs to have an origin to precursor. The rate is still in work. Control. Well, that's kind of interesting. Why would it not be the same value if I placed them together? I need to look into that. See if this is. See if that helps. What was cylinder constant? Could be because it's parented. Probably because of that. Well, in that case, it's probably easiest to do like this. To join those two together, but I don't want to do that because that's gonna mean that my my UVs are gonna be a hassle to fix. So instead, I'm gonna do like this, remove the array. I'm gonna take these three things. Oh, but I want them to rotate. That one's gonna be easy, but not that one. Can I put them all into an empty? I'm actually gonna have to mess about with that off stream. Figure out the best way of going about that, because the thing is I want these doors to be attached to these hinges with screws in the holes, of course, in a way that I can rotate them along that position that is in the middle of that. So I'm probably gonna have to put all of these into an empty with that origin point so that I can rotate them along that origin. So they all need to be able to move together. I'm gonna have to copy. Yeah. Well, in the meantime, let's do like this. Shift. I could do Alt D and create instances instead. Move them in the Z-axis to about there. And maybe, just maybe, I can do like this. So Shift, no Alt, do this. Oh, okay. Make sure we choose these ones as well. And Alt D. I think it's gonna work to do them as make them as instances instead. I think it's gonna work out. And let's select all these things again. Select that one. And Alt D, and then move them in the X direction. No, Y direction. Place them on the edge here. Ooh. Well, that's not good. Well, everything is fixable. Move you guys just slightly within inside of that. I should be able to do this. Mirror global X. Global Y coordinate. Ah, great. That looks good. However, this one needs to be moved. Gee, why? Oof. Both of y'all are real close. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, you're touching. But yeah. Let's move that one outwards. And take this one, this one, this one, that one. Not that one. And that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And let's just make sure that we have them at the correct spacing outwards from the door instead. So something like that, I think. Let's see how it looks here. Between those two, okay. There. And then we're just gonna have to make everything wider from there. So this one here, can be moved. That's why, let's see here. No. There's a mirror here. Want to keep it? Nope. Not anymore. Why? 50. Why? Move it over here. And then let's open up these two. And let's move them out to the edge. So like that. This one. And looks about right. So I'm gonna have to make this part a bit wider. But in all honesty, that's not gonna be much of a problem, I don't think. Oh, I got space there. And I got space there as well. Also, I can just make everything here bigger. We'll get to that when we get to that, because I think all the paneling that needs to be done will solve that for me. So yeah, I'm gonna need to figure out how to get these to rotate. I'm not gonna do that on stream because that's probably gonna be a lot of head scratching. And the thing is, I know how to do it. It's just I want to find a nifty way of doing it, because there's a manual way of doing it basically, and where I pair things in order with each other. But I want to try and keep my modifiers from being applied if possible, so I can animate it way before I do any texturing, stuff like that. What we could do, this is going to look nice, is first of all, let's move the screw holes here. Let's make them invisible. Screw hole, and screw hole, and let's like that. And that one as well. Screw hole, yes we do. And yeah. Let's add some viewport color. Why isn't it? Wait, what? Let's put that back to white. Let's see here. Should be in here. I forgot where to do that. Good. Yes, I know why. It's in here, right? And then viewport display, color, black. Yeah, I don't want to give them any material just yet, but either way, let's call that placeholder mat just for now. Placeholder material was in the wrong place looking right. There we go. Looks a bit nice, don't it? And let's do another copy of these. There, right? So, including those, that one and that one, including screw holes, Shift D, because I might want to change things with those, so I'm not going to do them as instances. And rotate along the z-axis 90 degrees. G, Y. Yeah, they're not. Including that one and that one. And including that one. Shift D. Move them slightly in the y direction. Rotate in z-axis. Okay, because they don't have the right, the correct. Oh, but I can do that. Okay. RZ90 GY. Ah, it worked. That's good. G. Space them. Ooh. I accidentally. G. X. Slightly inward. Like that. That's gonna be a middle blank. Also, I haven't fixed the inside of these. They need to have some sort of stability thingamajigger. Or I'm gonna have to do that on the outside, but either way. If it looks good, it looks good. So let's duplicate everything there and move it down towards here. There we go. A shed is taking form. Oh. Are we done for the day, or should we do something more? Let's do one more thing. Shift S, cursor selected. Shift A, let's make ourselves a cube. Let's scale it down. And also let's move that out from that group. Scene collection. Close up the hinges and hinge lip. Here we have the cube. And wall panels. Blank. Move it into wall panels. Move wall panels into panels. And there we have it. Good. scale it in x-axis to make it plank thickness. Not plank as in the scientist plank that described the shortest amount of time possible, because that's not how I work in plank time. I guess everything does, you know, in a way. There we go. Let's scale this one instead. Move it inwards. It can be like that. I mean, I'm gonna have to replace the inside as well at some point, but for now, let's place it that. Oh yes, before I forget. Let's move this outward to around there, I think. And this one, GX. And then until it touches those. There we go. Good. And let's move that one. G Z. All the way down. And object, set origin to geometry. Shift A, no, Control A, all transforms. No, not all of them. Scale. It hasn't been rotated, no, so that doesn't matter. Good, good. And move it all the way up to one of the edges. Why? From behind. Or beneath, I mean. Let's see here. Why? On the edge. Let's put an array on you. First, put I do add modifier, generate a bevel. I think what I did with the other planks was 15. Over here, right? Is the bevel way? It's way too big. Again, I think it was 2 zeros. It was 2 zeros. So in real life, these ones have like a cutout on one side and a lip on the other, and you attach them together like that. But I won't mess about with that. Or is that just for the panels that go upwards and downwards? No, I think they're in both directions. But I'm not gonna do that way. I'm gonna do an overlapping, like a because that's very classical or classic. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's add an array to this one. An array, and I want to do that in the y-axis. Whoop. Want to do it with a little bit of in between. And oh, not that one, that one. And let's, what do I do now? Until it's up on the edge. Oh yeah, we're gonna make that one wider later. Either way, don't matter. Let's make it slightly wider, like 0.5. Yeah. And then Shift D to duplicate. And let's move it outwards. GX until it's right outside. Ooh, that was close. That's nice. There we go. And then scale in Y direction. Till it's like half the size. Control A. Scale. And then we are gonna have to change the Y value. And G. Move it in the Y direction until it overlaps with that one. Let's do it like this so we can't see it for now. And so we can place it at the middle. Why not GX? Am I able to move it? Ah. Because that was the wrong value. It should have been in the y-axis, y-axis, but I was trying to move it in the x-axis. That's my bad. And let's see here if we can't find a good value here to make it fit. Let's see. Oh, we're close. Let's see here, could it be 60? Looks pretty close. I mean, I won't need the last one. And let's have a look at that. That looks great. Honestly, that looks really good. Like, really good as in very good. And then we're going to need to do that on the sides as well. But there I need to have an edge that goes down there. Could be that the simplest way of doing that would be to remove the bevel on these. Keep the array. Move them over to the side. Like, let's press save. Let's just do that. So I can show you what I mean. Shift D to duplicate. Rotate along the z-axis 90 degrees, and then G, Y, moving out here. So G, Y, move them up towards the wall here. X. I'm gonna do on the edges here. Showing you on the screen. On the edges here, I'm gonna put. It's hard to show. Like two planks that are the edge. I think I actually had a picture here of how it used to look. Yeah, here. Let's see. Like you can see here, these ones here, placed on the edges. There are like extra wide planks. You put them together like this, and you put them over the edge, and in that way you make sure that you have an edge that is protected from the elements, but also hides any cutoffs. So I'm going to do that as well. But first, let's place this one here. G. Move it outward. Yeah. X. I'm gonna cut that off short. Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, we might as well do that. I can remove them later. So let's see here. This one here, all the way there, and this one here, all the way here. And then afterwards, I can cut off that edge. And like, for example, we oh no, you know what we can do? I could have planks going the other way there, extra wide. Oh, I have to think about that. But I mean, we're getting there. Starting to look like something. Indeed. Indeed. Also the same with this one here. I won't be able to have any. It could be better to have that edge there. and then cut off this edge here. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look at some more pictures, get myself an idea of what I want to do up here. I'm probably gonna make the roof a little bit wider, or I'm sure I'm gonna have to do that to compensate for the mistake I did with the door. But doesn't really matter. It's just how it's gonna look here, because when I actually do the schematics to build it, the measurements that are here are not going to be all that relevant. But I'm going to do that in FreeCAD is the plan, a program that I haven't actually learned yet. I've been doing some work earlier in Fusion 360, but I wouldn't call myself in any way, shape, or form proficient in that program. So it's going to be learning something new, but it's going to be fun for this project. As I've said before, it's going to be a long project. I'm going to do this over the span of probably 2.5 years. I'm putting that time frame on it because I know that I'm going to have a lot of other things I have to do, so I won't be able to put in all my effort and time into it. But so far, I'm really enjoying making this model, and I'm enjoying looking at it. So next time I stream, hopefully we'll get all the panel work done. I'll have an idea of what I want to do up here. We'll widen the roof a bit, make sure that everything is nice and fits the way it's supposed to. We might actually also have time to start adding some textures and making it look good. Yeah. And perhaps, who knows, depending on how much time I have next time I stream, we might actually have time to also animate the doors. But before that, I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to go about rigging up these doors in a neat way. So yeah, let's see here. Boom. I want to remove those screw holes. I don't want to see them. There we go, because it looks better. All right, well, if anybody's been looking or listening or whatever you've been doing, have a great one. And if you see this one once it's uploaded afterwards, then kudos for looking at it. Hope you want to follow along for the rest of this project. And these hinges are way out into nowhere. Looking from this angle, it looks perfect. Looking from the side, it doesn't. Well, that's actually gonna be the last thing I fix before I end this stream. Can't have those hanging about in the middle of nowhere. Let's see here. Am I gonna get the screw holes with me? Why? Let's just place it right on the edge. That. And let's see here. That one. And that one. And apparently I didn't get the screw holes with me. Well, I'll have to fix that at a later point. They should be here, but apparently they're not. Interesting. Either way, I'll fix that until next time. Have a great one. It was a joy doing this. As always, I enjoy sitting in Blender and getting things done and just messing about. Again, for anybody looking either now or in the future, hope you follow along for the rest of this project.